We all know that moment where the teacher fires up a Kahoot game and everyone gets hyped as hell.
Goddamn, I need a foot job.
The people that don't be paying attention in class, like the ones that be playing cool math games and shit, the moment they hear this particular soundtrack, yes sir, Kahoot time, let's fucking get it. That's gonna be the only time they're gonna lock in and pay attention. And I'm not gonna lie, I am definitely the type of person to slack during 99% of class and then turn into 2016 prime LeBron when it comes to trying to get first place in Kahoot. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about the types of Kahoot players at school. So pack up your books and just whip it out, bro, because we're gonna— Hey, what are you doing? I meant whip out your phone or laptop so we can play Kahoot, bro. Put that big thing away. I've got the Kahoot game pin on the board right now, bro. Like, what the fuck was that? Anyways, just whip out your phone or laptop because shit is about to get real freaky. Oh no.
Wake up, filthy. Goddamn, I need a foot job.
The most well-known type of Kahoot player has gotta be the people that give themselves crazy names like Bend Over, Phil McCracken, Mike Hawk, Bust in My Mouth, Fuck Me and Diaz. Like right before the teacher shares the code to the Kahoot game, they would be like, okay guys, make sure to put your real names, okay? And you already know for a fact that we are not gonna put in our real names, bro. Like as people are joining the Kahoot game, you would see names like Kyle, Jose, Devontae, Kevin, like, you know, just normal names. And sometimes someone could feel a bit, you know, naughty and edgy and they type in someone else's name instead of their own. But for the most part, you see normal names. And then when Bend Over finally joins, you already know it's game over. Like the game is about to end before it even starts type shit. Like you start seeing names like Peter File, Jack Goff, Bust in My Mouth, Fuck Me in the Ass, Alex. Like there's still some people trying to type in their actual name here and there, but it's mostly gonna be a bunch of troll names. And when the Kahoot lobby is filled to the brim with fake and inappropriate names, the teacher can do one of two things. They could wait a little longer for more students to join the game and then start it with no issues, or threaten the class with canceling the Kahoot and doing normal work instead, or just using that mode where it automatically generates a name for you. And we all know the chances of the first option happening is literally 0%. Like I have a higher chance of making 100 full court shots back to back, blindfolded, wearing no clothes, than the teacher letting the Kahoot go on with all the crazy names.
My dick in the kitchen, rubbing my balls on the dishes.
The crazy thing is, there was this one time in math class in grade 10, the teacher started a Kahoot and people started giving themselves crazy ass names. Like you already know, bruh, like Bend Over, Fuck Me and Diaz. And after the Kahoot lobby got filled to the brim with outrageous names, she pretty much told the class that they got one more chance at giving themselves a real name. So she started up a new Kahoot game, and on the second try, guess what happened? The exact same shit.
Goddamn, I need a foot job.
Like there were still a bunch of crazy names in the Kahoot lobby, and after this, the teacher gave up and just started the Kahoot anyways. Like after going on a 5-question streak of getting the answer right, I could get a question wrong and drop all the way down to 17th place and get placed 56 points behind Fuck Me and Diaz.
Is that dick good?
Speaking about getting Kahoot questions wrong, we all know when a teacher made a Kahoot easy as fuck with the most simple questions, and the only way to win the Kahoot was with answering the questions as fast as possible. Bro, these Kahoots had my heart racing, because if I answered the question a little too slow, I could drop like 5 places. And if you get a question wrong on an easy ass Kahoot, then you're cooked, bro. You're gonna drop down to like 28th place. And to add some salt and lemon juice to the wound, if you're given an easy ass question on the Kahoot and you're the only person that got that shit wrong, it's GG's. There's always gonna be that one person that's like, yo, who the fuck got this question wrong, bro? It was obviously yellow. And then people start looking around the classroom and shit, and they turn into Sherlock Holmes trying to spot the person that got the question wrong. And if this shit happens to you, you better turn down the brightness on your phone or blend in with the other people on some Among Us type shit and be like, yeah bro, what the fuck? How could someone get that wrong? Like you gotta be a dumbass to mess up on that one. One time this happened to me in my Korean class, and yeah bro, the high school I went to did have a Korean class and I took it for my whole high school career. The odd thing about this Korean class was that it was like a new subject and not a lot of people chose to pick Korean as a subject for some reason. My Korean class in my senior year literally had 4 people. And I already know some of you guys in the comments, you're gonna be like, no way 𝐂𝐿MZii was in the sped classes with 5 people and 3 teachers, bro. Like, bro, it was like the 5th year my high school taught Korean, and it just wasn't as popular as some of the other language classes like French, German, Chinese, and Japanese. And yeah, bro, because my class didn't have a lot of people, when this situation happened to me, it was so easy to tell, bro. Like, it was so obvious because I was low-key like the dumbest one in the class. And I remember getting an easy question wrong and the teacher looking at me all disappointed and shit. When we're trying to win a game of Kahoot, we can get a question wrong from time to time, but sometimes it won't be entirely our fault. Let me explain. Because in every class, there's always that one cheeky ass motherfucker that would scream out the answer and be like, yo guys, the answer's green, bro, quick. And when you selected green as your answer, guess what? You got that shit wrong, bro, and you just got baited and fell for the trap. And the person that tricked you with the wrong answer would start giggling and shit. I don't usually fall for this type of trick, but I have been a victim to it a couple of times. Like, sometimes I'd be too desperate to lock in my answer as fast as possible. And speaking of locking in your answers at a decent speed, there's always that one person that takes their time when answering the question. Like, if the question is super easy and like 28 people lock in their answers after like 3 seconds, there's always that one guy and you gotta wait for the timer to run all the way down to 0 for that person to lock in their answer. Bro, if you end up being the person to take up a lot of time to answer a question and you end up being the only person to get it wrong, then you gotta wrap it up, I can't lie. Staying on the topic of trying to get every question correct in a Kahoot, the stakes were automatically tripled if the teacher offered a prize for the winner. Like, if the teacher said that the winner would get a free KitKat bar, I'm locking in and using 100% of my brain power to get every question right, bro. But if I'm being honest, your boy 𝐂𝐿MZii is named 𝐂𝐿MZii for a reason, because I would always get a question wrong by misclicking the wrong answer, so it would be super rare for me to be first place in a Kahoot. Like, especially if you're in one of those accelerated classes where they give you schoolwork for like 1 or 2 grades above your current grade, you gotta be on some Einstein level timing in order to get first place, because there's probably a kid in your class that started solving college level calculus problems at 14 and they be getting first place in Kahoot every single time. Even though the smart kid in your class always gets first place in Kahoot, sometimes the person that ended up getting first place wouldn't even be a person in your class, and sometimes they wouldn't even be a person, like a human being. And if you don't know what I'm hinting towards, I'm talking about the guy that be hacking the Kahoot with a fuck ton of bots that would get every question right. The first time I saw this shit was in my English class freshman year of high school. The teacher made a Kahoot about Shakespeare or some shit, and the Kahoot started off normal. Like, you know, you had the people with inappropriate names, people with regular names, and it was looking good, you know? Just another day of getting blessed with the Kahoot instead of regular schoolwork. And then out of nowhere, a bunch of random players started spawning in the lobby, and I was like, what the fuck? Did someone in the class message the Kahoot code to the whole school? And then the player count in the Kahoot lobby went up to like over 100, and I was like, what? How can that be? How is that even possible? And then there was this one kid, his name was Hunter, and he was smiling and giggling at his laptop, and a few of his homies were surrounding him, and they were giggling as well. And when I looked at his screen, he was on one of those Kahoot bot websites where you could spawn in a bunch of players and just fuck up the whole Kahoot game. I don't really remember if the teacher ended up giving us another chance with the Kahoot or just forced us to do regular schoolwork, but if you are over the age of 16 and ruining the Kahoots with bots, you just gotta do me a favor and dip your ballsack in some Nutella and start teabagging on an anthill, bro, because this shit is annoying as hell. Like, on the rare occasion of the teacher starting a Kahoot and it being ruined has gotta be the worst feeling, bro. Like, I don't really mind if people use funny names like busting my mouth and fuck me in the ass, but if you mess around to the point where the teacher just straight up cancels the Kahoot game or the Kahoot game gets ruined by bots, like, come on, bro, you're not the class clown, just give that shit up. And the last type of Kahoot player I'm gonna talk about is just gonna be the normal people. Like, they type in their actual real name, they get a couple questions right and a couple questions wrong, like, you know, just normal Kahoot. Yo, what are you doing? Why do you still have it whipped out? I told you earlier to tuck that shit away and take out your phone or laptop.
Man, let's fuck that bitch for days, forever. Send man to the nether. Feds might watch when I chop that cheddar. Bad bitch named Bella.